Hey, what's up? This is Elliott. Just doing a quick little updated intro, so you can come see us live with some correct dates. If you want to see Denny Love, our wonderful, esteemed guest. Yeah, that had a lot of sarcasm on it. But I do love it. He's all right. You'll see. No, I do love Denny though. But check out his website, dennyloveforreal.com. For dates, he just got some new merch too. It looks very good. It's very comfortable from what I've heard. So go check that out. DennyLoveForReal.com, DENNYLOVE 4 the number 4. Okay, not FOR, the number 4 REAL.com. If you want to see Arijana live May 9th, she will be at High Def Brewing, and May 10th, she will be at the Setup, both in LA. So if you're in the area, go check those out. Also follow her on Instagram, socials for all of those dates. Check out her website too. And me, I will be doing on Mother's Day Tight Tens here in LA, not in June as previously reported. Things change, all right? Change is the only constant, so get used to it. Yeah, May 14th, Mother's Day, I'll be doing Tight Tens here in LA. And then June 8th and 10th, I will be doing shows at the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago. More dates will be popping up in Chicago around then, so keep that ear to the ground. And then June 15th, I will be featuring for Joe, Mr. D. Dombrowski at Comedy on State. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. I'll post about all that stuff. And yeah, that's about it. Stay safe out there. Have fun. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Arijana.
And I'm Elliott.
And this is
Burning the Light,
the podcast where we talk about the wildest, cringiest, most salacious stories from people's time in comedy. Elliott, you want to introduce our guest today?
Hell yeah, I do. This guest.
Build it up.
Where do I start?
Oh,
From the top.
We met in high school gym class. All right. And then that was a rocky start.
Yeah.
And then since then, it's still pretty rocky. I'm not going to lie. It's gone up a little bit, but it's gone down a little bit too, you know? Can
you get to the nice stuff?
Can you get to the nice stuff? We've been here for how long? And it's just been...
They don't count if the cameras wasn't rolling. They don't count. The people don't know what happened.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the cameras are rolling. I still hear. I'm still going to remember.
Can you start from the top and say nice things about me?
All right, this guest,
come on.
I'm very happy to have him here, if I'm being honest. I don't know why. All right, it's probably going to go bad for me, but I'm still looking forward to it because I genuinely enjoy his company. I don't know if he'd say the same about me, but what are you going to do, you know? Some people just see you drinking a tiny coffee and they get jealous. But this next guest, he's a comedian. He is an actor. He's an entrepreneur. He's an expert water skier, which not a lot of people know.
They don't know that.
Did you even know that?
No, I did not know that. Wow.
You're pretty fucking good. I'm not going to lie.
Sex symbol, did you say that? I don't know if he said that. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like, yeah, we'll get there. I mean, you've already heard him. All right. If you know him, you love him. If you don't know him, you're going to love him. It's Denny Love.
Woo! That last part. The way you did that last part.
I got you.
yeah.
If you don't know him. Wait, how you say it?
I don't know. I was.
If you know him, you love him. If you don't know him, you're going to love him.
Oh God.
I'm going to use that.
Well, it has love in it.
That's why I'm saying
Branding.
that was really good.
That's Brandon right
That
there.
was really good.
Yeah, so how about we start showing me some goddamn respect?
Well, you at first, I ain't like what you was doing.
Yeah.
When you
Why
got,
is that such a common theme I have with you?
when you got to that ending, I was like, oh, he got some
Yeah, I wrap it
potential.
around. I wrap it around.
my God.
Potential. Wow.
Denny Love. Denny
The
Love.
one
That's
and
a
only.
name.
You know, yeah.
That is a name.
That started in high school. That
What?
started. I don't know if you remember the
What?
inception of that.
No.
You don't remember the inception
No.
of that? I don't even know how that started. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this. Obviously, you do because we're great friends. My real name is Denzel Irby, right?
Which is also a great name.
Denzel, but people, it's not as great growing up with the name Denzel as people think it is.
Yeah. Well, also because you're an actor and you're
Yes.
also a black man, and there's
Yes.
already one Denzel.
Yeah.
There's one Denzel.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care what you say. My whole life, anytime I meet a person, oh, like Denzel Washington.
Well, it was
Yeah.
also white ass Wisconsin too. So
Right. They're the only black person they knew.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, I got this one.
So
I know how to handle
you
this.
went by Denny and not Zell.
Well, Denny, just my family.
Yeah.
Everybody called me Denny. And then, of course, my close friends call me Denny. But my mom changed her last name
Okay.
to Love.
Like, did she get married or she just decided?
No, she
to change
just
it?
changed her
That's
last name.
so fierce.
Yeah, because why? You can just do whatever you want in life.
I guess you can.
So she changed her last name, and jokingly, I started being like, "Yeah, I'm Denny Love." And Jenny Applebox, shout out, She was like, "That's really dope. You should go by that, Denny Love."
I mean, that's a sick name.
And everybody just start calling me Denny, and it just stuck.
Mm-hmm.
But when I moved to LA, I was going by Denzel as an actor. And I remember the day I was like, I cannot, no.
Yeah.
Professionally, I can't go by Denzel. I remember I was on set. My first thing that I booked in LA, I forgot what it was, but
I love that. You never forget. You never forget your first, except for Denny.
I do so much.
Who cares?
I do so much.
Actually, that was
I do so much.
the Golden Globes Oscars, right?
Yeah, I think
that was the
might have
first
been...
year they were going to combine the two, and they were like, "There's only one guy that can pull this off."
Yeah. And I forget. It's a lot of things, but so I pull up the set.
Okay.
And I'm geeked, of course.
Yeah.
And I remember a PA came up to me, and they were like, "Are you Denzel?" I was like, "Yeah. What's up?" He's like, "Oh my, this is so funny." I was looking at the call sheet, and I read Denzel, and I almost had a heart attack. And then I saw like Denzel, and I was like, "Oh." And I was like,
"What a humbling moment!"
What?
Yeah.
And after that, I'm just like, that name itself is so prolific.
Yes.
It's like if I was a singer,
and
a female singer, my name was Beyonce. It's just like. It's too impactful of a name for anybody to be thinking of me when they hear it.
I even feel that with my name, Arijana, because now people are like, "Oh, like Ariana Grande," and I'm like, I've been here, you know, like, and I don't know, and it's a silly thing.
Up. Do you sing?
Well,
oh boy,
he's laughing because
is that a no?
I really want to, but I don't do it. Well, I can. Okay. Well, I don't know if I can.
What's happening?
I really want to. Oh, you can't.
Well, I don't know that I have the vote. I don't.
Bless your heart.
Okay.
I've never sung in front of people, but I love it, and it's like my favorite thing. And if I could do that, if I could be a musician, there's no way I'd do comedy. Like that's so much cooler.
You get nervous? Is that what it like? You're shy singer?
The singing is just so much more vulnerable.
It is.
I don't
you
know.
Feel naked.
Yeah, and I don't know. I love it though. Like in the car, I will take a longer route so I can sing longer.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
A lot of musicians do try to do jokes in between songs though.
I mean, I would have to. I'd do a little variety.
That shit's pretty funny because
it's
like, man, y'all are bombing.
I have a love-hate relationship for musician comics. Like Morgan J to me is one of my favorite musician comics out here, but it's almost a cheat code.
Well,
you
I think it
cannot
depends.
miss with music if you're funny.
Yeah.
And he has a nice voice. You've seen Morgan.
Yeah.
He has a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
It's just like, he's one of the few people I would not want to follow Morgan J.
No. You can't. I'm not following a musical. That'd be like following Bo Burnham.
Especially because he does good ass crowd work with it. So you're like, all right, well, I'm not going to do any of that
then
shit.
you come up and just people are just like, I was just singing and clapping.
I heard he's super nice too.
Oh, he's
and
a
if
great
you're
guy.
like a nice
Great
dude
guy.
who's hot and can play an instrument and you're funny, get out of town.
My biggest pet peeve is when people write a bit so they can sing on stage.
I've seen this
you know what I'm
so
talking about?
much this year.
When like the point of the bit, the like punchline is like they sing a song, but they're really good at singing. So you're like, oh, you just wanted to sing.
Yeah.
You like, how do I do this? There was
I
a comic.
I need to do that to
there was
get
a comic
used to
who would
I need to see this.
slowly more
I mean, you
singing
have the
than
chance
jokes.
to sing in front of
Yeah, that's true.
right now.
No.
Look at
5,
that.
6, 7, 8.
Oh wow. I'm kidding.
What was that song you chose?
It was just something from the 90s.
You just said, "Oh wow."
Oh wow.
Wow. Well, everything ain't for everybody.
I do. I think it is interesting though. Like when people change their name for show business. Like I recently have met a few comics who have done this, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought about it a little bit with my name, but I don't have like a middle name or anything either that I would choose. But I think once you commit to a name, and it's like Denny Love,
important.
it's like that's your work, right?
Important.
Like,
but I grew up in watching comics, especially black comics. They
Yeah.
never really have their, original name.
You telling
Like,
me
I grew
his
up
name
on
is
Cedric the Entertainer.
You telling me his name is an earthquake?
Right. It's like
what?
Everybody isn't blessed with like a just prolific
Yeah.
name. Like one of my favorite comics actors that I look up to is Jamie Foxx. You
Oh my
know the
God.
way he got his name?
I feel like I heard this story on the Graham Norton show or something, but I don't remember it.
Well, essentially, he knew that it was easier for women to get up on mics, so he picked like an androgynous name.
That's
and
smart.
he
Oh,
just
I
thought
didn't
of
know
Jamie
that.
Foxx because it,
Okay.
Yeah, so he got up and
Okay.
he just stuck with the name.
Intriguing.
That's smart.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that he's like, it's easier for women. I gotta fucking be. Well, it's fine, Jamie. We love him. I think he's one of the most talented performers.
He's out there
He
playing
is.
naked
He is.
basketball.
Yeah, you know.
He is,
oh my-
but like a name
yeah.
like Kevin Hart, that's so
Yeah.
it's
That's
a
a good
powerful name.
Yeah.
He got blessed with, but everybody didn't
Yeah.
get blessed with that.
I've had a couple
Yeah.
people tell me, they're like, you should just use your real name.
Can I tell people?
Yeah.
Gilbertson Brown.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm literally
Right? I'm like, do you
Yeah.
have another
I
name that I
literally
don't
say
know?
that to them.
Do you have a middle name? Could you
Yeah.
go by your middle name?
Wesley.
What is it? Elliott Wesley. That's awesome.
Wait,
You should
what
go
do
by
you
that.
go
Too
by? Am I tripping?
Elliott GB.
Oh, not
And people are like,
Gilbertson
what's the
Brown.
GB? And then I usually don't tell them because they really want to know. And then
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, now I'm not going to tell you because it's really bothering you. But then when I
What
tell
if
them,
you just went by? Well,
but then when I tell them, they're like, why don't you just use that? And then I literally, every time I go, Elliott Gilbertson Brown, and they're like, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you say
no.
it like that.
I say it. I say it where I'm like, I want you to really hear it.
Hold on, let me. If I was hosting, I'm like, yo, up next, this dude's super fun. I lie and stuff. Be like, he's super funny. He performs all the time. Y'all give it up for Elliott GB. Okay, I like the punctuation there.
See, it's
That
nice.
does
It's
sound
funny
nice.
too because
Yeah.
you have brought me on stage before.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, hold on, let me say the other.
that really
Okay.
went out of your mind.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I could see you really had
it
to
was
do
a
some
so long
improv.
time ago since I seen. Okay.
the way
All
y'all
right,
hate
y'all.
each other is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's been years. But I gave him a start.
Yeah.
So I would come up, I'd be like, all right, y'all, this next dude, super funny. I'm lying still. This dude, super funny,
Dark
performs
skin.
all over town, dark skin, confident. Y'all give it up.
Confident
For
is the
Elliott.
lie.
Loves himself. Y'all give it up for Elliott Gilbertson. Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
No,
Yeah.
I think you could do Elliott Gilbertson Brown.
Well, yeah, when you say it like that, but I'm
I
not
think
going to
you
have
do
my own
that.
announcer every show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is this not the WWE?
I'm gonna have-
You made it sound a little bit more.
I do it nice.
Yeah.
I do a
Elliott
nice
GB
little host.
is a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
It is nice. It is nice.
And then what's
yeah.
even funnier is when I tell people, they're like, oh, so GB actually is, that's what it is. And I'm like, yeah, why would I just make up fucking...
GB.
letters like you
Yeah,
just
and also
chose for-
GB out of
Yeah.
all letters.
Oh my
what
God.
else would that stand
That's
for?
hilarious.
Yeah, I actually did it so then people could come up and be like, oh, like Green Bay? Like
Elliott.
Like Game Boy?
Oh,
What about
is
this? Good bits.
Oh,
Great bits.
a good, great. It's getting better. Oh God! Wow.
I felt like
You
good.
know
I'm
what's
like,
funny?
that's not right.
You know
They're
what's funny
great. They're
is
great
this
bits.
started out as a joke of you being like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like rib him a little bit, and
Yeah.
then it really like showed your character when you were like, good, the bits were good, and then you
Yeah,
corrected
yeah.
yourself.
Because I love him. You know,
It's
he
going to
is
be
funny.
when
He
I'm
is funny.
older and I'm like on the way down.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to
It
be
gets
like,
from great to good.
it's Elliott Good Bits.
That's your last special from great to good.
Yeah.
It's
I'm doing
Elliott
like
Good Bits.
VFWs. I'm selling them out,
Yeah.
but it's still
Casinos?
it's
Yeah.
still a VFW. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
smaller ones though. But it's still
I want to.
Hey, we're here.
That
We're still
really
here.
is
poster.
the comedy poster.
We're
just
still
back
here.
to back. It's just two of you, Parent Trapping it.
Have y'all thought about what your special would be called when you have it? What it'll be?
yeah.
I don't know. I think.
So far.
Wait, is that true? Is
Yeah.
that what?
I think I do it for like an album or a mixtape because it's
so
like all my
Elliott
shit so
GB
far.
so far.
Because your first one, it really is like
Here's what's
all
so
the
far.
stuff you've done. You can do shit that's like 20 years old. As long as you've never put it out, no one will know. But then after that, it's like, okay.
I think I would name it after the bit that I feel is most pinnacle to the set. So depending on what that would be
Like
at
the
that
closer or
time.
whatever.
Yeah, maybe not even the closer. Maybe just something I feel really encompasses it. I also think if I were
oh,
to do a
like
special,
Baby Hitler?
yeah, that would be yeah.
You have a bit called
yeah.
about Baby Hitler?
Yeah, I do. And
Yeah,
it's
she
great.
says, why don't we all cut him some slack?
Yeah, he was a child. No, oh God, why do you have to say that?
You and Kanye would get along.
We do. I know him.
He's a fan.
I'm saying, you go
yeah.
out to Montana.
That
Wait,
dude's-
what was it? What were we talking about? I'm literally lost.
Your comedy
Well,
special.
we were confronting
yes,
you.
my
We were
God.
confronting you about your beliefs.
Yeah.
No, I was saying that if I had a special, I think that lately what's been on my mind is like
That's a great name.
Well, sure. I mean, I come
I'ma
up
stop
with
you right
them.
there.
I'm gonna stop you
We got
right
it.
there before you even finish.
We got it.
That's it.
Well, I would love to record 30-minute sets of like on one topic. So it's like the dating special or the immigrant parent special or like, you know, like
You have an immigrant parent?
I do.
No.
Or
Yeah.
like Canadian? What is
No,
it?
Bosnian.
Oh.
Yeah, you've never heard of it. You never heard of Bosnia.
Like that's somewhere
You
in the
tried
world.
to come for me with the Canada line, and then you're like, "Oh shit!"
All right, spicy
Yeah.
white. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew you had
Wait.
something over there.
Oh, okay.
I
Why?
knew. Just because you around a lot of minorities. That's why I'm
Okay.
like, you
Yeah.
must got something in you.
Yeah, I'm just collecting information. And then I'm gonna put it in a book, and I'm gonna make millions.
She's
You're
a
good.
mole.
I'm
You're
gonna
good.
say it's
They are.
really weird. Light skins
She
are super
infiltrated
weird.
us. She
double
infiltrated.
agent.
If Denny
and you're
Love
the
taught
start.
me anything-
Well, I'm
You
gonna
the
tell you
start.
right now,
She
I'm a
got-
bad start.
Yeah.
I'm a bad
She
start.
like, I'm gonna
If
get
Denny
with the
Love
light
taught me
skin crowd.
anything-
You're gonna go back to headquarters and be like, I got this information, and then show them my
Yeah.
picture, and they'll go, you're fucking fired.
Yeah.
Completely false. This
don't
doesn't
know.
work.
You're hanging out with the wrong
I
minorities.
don't know why you're fucking
Why are
getting-
you still with these Bosnians?
Yeah, why are you interviewing Italian kids? What's going on?
Is he
Only
French?
Irish Catholics.
I heard he used to be French.
Before he cut the wings off his mustache. That's what it was.
Well, what would yours be called?
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about
Don't
that.
fucking
man.
lie to me.
I haven't, bro.
Love to Love You, Baby by Denny Love.
Well,
Ooh.
I'm gonna just say no. But
Yeah. It's bad. But
I
you
want
could
it
do
to be something. It's hard because it got to be short and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And memorable.
short and sweet.
But also like, oh my God, we did it.
All right, let's go.
It's done. Let's
We
wrap.
gotta go write it. We all gotta go write it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard. No, that's hard.
I don't know. One day though, we'll all have specials and it'll all be
The
these
30
names.
minute is not. I did that like last year.
Yeah.
Just did a 30. If you can bring in some folks and
Yeah.
Plus, no one
you know,
wants
so many
to.
cool people that shoot.
I
It's
miss
not hard to do.
when people did 30-minute albums. That was
Yeah.
my favorite thing. I think if you I mean, obviously, like when you headline, you like do 45 or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I miss 30-minute albums so much because I think we moved away from that, and now it's just like specials.
Yeah.
And there's so many that it's like none of them are actually special anymore. Yeah, and I just
Drop that mic.
Yeah,
I'm-
shots fired.
Yeah, no, I do. I miss listening to albums. Like I miss that whole experience because that's how I started listening to comedy and stuff. It was like before a lot of them were, filmed and stuff.
Yeah, I was never a listener of albums. I watched specials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how'd you get started? What's your comedy journey?
I remember before I even knew comedy could be a career, I just love watching Comic View and Def Jam. I just grew up, and those weren't even comedy specials. They were just sets.
No, it was
There'd
like a
be-
showcase.
I
Yeah,
loved
it was a showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no big showcase for comedians
No.
anymore. I discovered comedy by watching those. There'd be like Martin Lawrence hosting or
Yep.
Yeah.
Arnez J or Steve Harvey hosting, and just a slew of incredible comics. And people blew up off
Yeah.
10-minute sets.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Chris Tucker do 10 minutes at Def Jam, and after that, he just skyrocketed. Same with Mike Epps. Ice Cube discovered Mike Epps from doing a 10-minute, 15-minute set on Def Jam.
Yeah.
I wish there was something like that. But I
Yeah.
remember watching that growing up and just feeling like this made sense to me. Like these people spoke my language, but I didn't know that I could do that. It was the same with acting. I would look at these people. It was almost like they lived in the TV. I'm like, I would never be able to do
So that's
that.
the thing. That's what I've always, or what I've kind of realized coming out here is you meet people who are like from here and they're just like, yeah, this is just the business. Like
Just
it's a
regular.
business, but you're like, you got to understand everywhere else, this isn't real.
No, it's a
Like
fantasy world.
you don't like see those people.
It's
Oh,
a
you-
fantasy world.
Sorry, you
Like
mean to say
Hollywood.
like they know they're used to it always like
they're used to
being
it. They're
like
just
this?
like, yeah,
Okay.
if this is just like the thing.
Because
you know?
on any given night in LA, you can go to a comedy club and see some of the best comedians working today.
Yeah.
You could go to a bar patio and see some of the best working comedians just drop in. Like that is what
100%.
blows my mind about this
100%.
city.
But yeah,
It's
everywhere
a
else it's
wild
like
thing.
you don't
It's a
know
wild
people
thing.
who do
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah, bro,
whereas
I didn't
here,
know.
that's what I meant. It's
I
like
didn't
here
know.
you know everyone, but there it's like no one in Wisconsin is doing this shit.
Bro, I didn't even know about comedy on state until I was like going to college.
Yeah, same.
So it's like now it's become this thing where people know if you go to Madison, that's the spot to be
Yeah.
at.
Right.
But when we were growing up, none of our friends were doing stand up.
Yeah, and you weren't like going to comedy clubs, you
No,
know, like
we
you're
had
too
one.
young. Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
one, but
remember-
there was no way to have like the Dave Chappelle story about
Yeah.
being 16
yeah.
and going to a comedy
Right,
club. We didn't
right.
know they existed.
I know. I actually think about that a lot because I feel like I didn't know stand up was a thing at all for a long time, and then I would sometimes like see sets, and I remember like the first sets that I thought like watched, but I always thought like, oh, they don't have that in Seattle. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's like somewhere else, you
Is
know.
the Seattle comedy scene big? Is it just blowing up, or has it always been a thing?
I think it went through, like, I think there's a lot of good comics that came out of Seattle. And there was kind of a period, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe even a little bit before that, of like a really, really good group of us that started. And we've all kind of.
Wait, was Elliott part of his group?
You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I moved 7 years ago,
yeah.
2015.
Yeah, and I think there was a
Good
good
group.
group. Like, yeah, like really, really solid comedians. But it's, you know, we lost our home club and then COVID happened. We lost a bunch of mics and it's just not been the same scene at all. But you get to build your material a lot more quickly. And it is like, I guess maybe more welcoming scene to start in, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta leave. Like once you have like 25, 30 minutes there, like you're done. Like it's just sort of like being the best in Seattle means absolutely nothing, you know? It's not like here where it's like, even if you're really good, you're like fighting for stage time, you know? Which is another kind of double-edged sword.
Wait, you said, are you saying in LA, even if you're really good? You
Oh,
still fight?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
agree.
I will like, you know, see people at shows who I'm like, oh, this is like a really like well-off comic, like they're doing well, they're getting booked, and they're like, yeah, like what other shows are you doing? And I'm like, I'm new,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just wild. It's wild.
That's because everybody, if you're not in the club circulation
Yeah.
in LA, it's, you know, it's tough.
Yeah, if you're
I
not a
know
past
touring
regular.
comics who don't get up at the store or Laugh Factory Improv regularly. It's
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah.
Can we curse on here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. that
Well,
shit's
so
bullshit.
I'm also intrigued because you act and you do comedy. Did one come before the other, or were they kind of in tandem for you?
Yeah, well, you know, comedy, I didn't pursue stand up, but acting was what I started to pursue.
Okay,
In
interesting.
high school, we started to pursue it, but, and I say we because me and Elliott.
Wait, were
started
you in
doing-
the theater program at all? Did you do any
Yeah.
school plays and
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Because Elliott
We
didn't.
like changed it. Yeah, he did.
Were you in shows?
I was in one musical.
Oh.
I was in Guys and Dolls. That was the only one
Oh
I
my
was
god, I wanted
Yeah,
to be
I
in
was
used
that
to-
too.
everyone used
that
to
was
fucking
so,
gamble
bro. We was
backstage.
playing. We was shooting dice.
Wait,
We was ghetto.
I got rejected from that musical, and it was my dream
Guys
to
and
be in
Dolls?
it. Yeah.
You want to
You
know
must
what's
have
funny?
a more cutthroat program because we.
Oh.
I don't know how we are.
No, I
back
was
then.
not very-
You want
I
to know
was
what's
not
funny?
very-
I got in and then I broke my ankle. And then I went and my mom was like, all right, we'll go back to Rebecca and get that fucking check. And I went back and Rebecca was like, no, we can make it work. We can make it work.
Damn.
Oh, that
Bro,
I,
I was
love
in
your
the,
mom.
I was in the
Darling.
musical with a boot.
I
Why
love
do
your
I
mom.
remember that now?
It was so funny because I was
That's
like, all right, well,
hilarious.
you
We
know.
was shooting dice every day, gambling.
What was
Real
Elliott like
money.
in high school?
He's like he is now. He's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Exactly the same.
When are you gonna peak?
Elliot always had this energy, like he just knew. Whatever that means to you, he just knew.
He like certain of himself, or what? How do
Yeah,
you mean?
or just like how full of shit everything and everybody was. He
Okay.
just had
He
like
could
a
see
very
through
clear perspective on people and the things
Yeah.
around him. That's why I always fuck with Elliot because
Okay.
I could always look at him and he was thinking what I was thinking.
Okay.
That's
Do
why
you-
he didn't like me at first.
I heard that he didn't like you at first.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
so
because I
funny.
just fuck. That was my thing. I just
Yeah.
fuck with people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Elliot just always knew, so he didn't like. He just like.
No, at first I
You
was
go
like,
ahead, you go.
who? Okay, so we were in a gym class. And,
I don't remember this, by the way.
And every other sport that we would play besides basketball, you did not give a fuck about.
Yeah, no.
You were
Right
just like, I'm just going to fuck around and fuck with people, which I was also like, yeah, I want to fuck around too. but you were on the more I will fuck with people side.
Yes.
And so Denny would come up to me, just walk up to me,
Oh boy.
and just get close to my face and go, I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt.
You remember when that
when
and
that
that
popped
video?
off?
And
You
I'm,
must have been so annoying.
and I'm looking
Doing
back at
someone
him.
else's bit.
I'm looking back
Doing
at him.
someone else's bit.
I'm looking back at him like, who the fuck are you? And why do you keep doing this?
Oh, you
to
didn't
me?
know him.
I didn't know him.
No.
What's wrong with you?
Here's the thing. What you would consider to be annoying,
Yeah.
that was the point.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
just fucking with
Oh,
him.
of course,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's not like I thought
Yeah.
that shit was very funny or that was what was popular. and
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
knew it would irritate
Yeah.
him. That was part of my
Okay.
little
Yeah.
like poking
That
at
was
him.
Were you the
Because he was
class
like
clown?
quiet and of course.
Yeah, you
of
were the
course.
class
and
clown?
very,
Okay.
very popular.
Oh,
Everybody
really?
loved me. Yeah.
Wait, is that true? No, I really
No,
wanted
it is
to
half
ask.
true.
Is it
True, but I don't like how he said it.
It's true. Because she
very
trying to make it like I was like the weirdo, like the
Well, that's
annoying
how- yeah,
person.
well,
no
that's-
way.
That's why I wanted to clarify.
No.
Okay.
You
I
said
was
it with the
very popular.
You said it with the
Damn.
same energy as when you were making shit up about me, about how good I am at comedy. Very, very popular.
You
Nah,
know
it's a
what's
big
funny
deal.
is like, you should be proud of yourself because if you can be both annoying and popular, that's really like incredible. feat.
Elliott is making it seem like I was
Yeah.
annoying to everybody. I annoyed him.
Yeah, only him. Okay.
I didn't
Okay,
fuck with
that's
people.
funny.
I didn't fuck with people
That
I
is
didn't
funny.
like.
That's funny. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, I was like because he thought he knew. He's just one of them, and I was just like, let me fuck with you.
You're like, I'm gonna break you.
he was so cool,
Yeah.
calm, and collected. And I'm like, I'm gonna fuck with you.
He
But I got
tries
you
to
back,
play
though.
it so cool.
That's why I always
very
fucked
true.
with him.
Yeah, you got to break down that.
I
I got
always
you
exterior.
back
with
though,
Elliott.
because once we were playing basketball, I always tried to be on your team, and whenever
And
I
he
would
was
only
so-
take half court shots.
He was
I
pissed
would
me off
only take half
That's
court
the way
shots.
you got revenge.
Yeah,
because I
one-
took it very serious.
Because that was Denny was like, he's
Yeah,
like,
I was
because
a
AJ
hooper.
was in that class too.
Yeah, we was
And you
hoopers.
guys would it's his brother, and they would like group up, and they'd be like serious about like literally you would think they were about
so
like there were
funny.
scouts in the
Yeah.
class, like they were like
Basketball
we're
family.
playing this seriously, and yeah, so that's why I was like, all
Because
right.
I didn't
And
know
then-
he was and I didn't know he was fucking with me.
Okay.
So I just thought
That's
this dude was like
hilarious.
on the fucking spectrum. I'm like, why would you shoot that?
because if I make it, it's a half court shot. If I miss, yeah, I
You
miss.
don't
It's a half
get
court
extra
shot.
points.
I don't know, but it looks cool.
Oh my god, this
But
is
then
the
it got
worst
to the point where I would
revenge
try to
plan.
get on. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna be with Denny. You go, no, the fuck, you're not, and you
Yeah.
like move away from me.
Yeah.
Wait, so then okay, fill in the gaps for me here. So did you guys just keep in touch after high school and stuff, or when did you move out to LA? Was it pretty soon after?
No, because I went. Well, first of all, I think we have to mention the Black Man Group before we
What?
move
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Because this was historic at our high school.
Oh,
There
God.
was probably like 8 black dudes who did theater in our our school, because obviously that wasn't cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Theater
Until-
was.
Well, it wasn't to black people.
It was
That's
at your
true.
school though.
Huh?
Theater was cool at your school.
Theater was cool,
Okay.
but black people didn't really do
Okay.
it.
Yeah, it was basically like a performing arts school.
Okay.
Yeah, it was lit. It was lit. But once we all banded together, Elliott was a year above me. They started doing theater. Then a few of my, like me, Terrence, Carrie, we all started getting in the theater program. And then there was like enough of us to create like, essentially it was like SNL.
It was like a sketch group.
Yeah, we created this sketch
Yeah.
group at our school, which to this day, I don't think I ever seen that auditorium more full. We had this thing called Fine Arts Week.
Yeah.
Where it
Wait,
was
you
just,
were in it? You were in
Yeah.
there?
yeah, he was our
They
token
let
white.
you in? They let
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I think at least
You see, we got
I was a
it.
little. No, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Am I? Am I?" And Rebecca was like, "Yeah, you're in." And I was like, "Okay,
It
cool.
was
Yeah, that's what I meant." But
Who's this Rebecca character?
The theater teacher.
She was
Oh,
our,
God.
she was,
Yeah.
she's,
feel like
I
she
credit her
spelled it
for
with a
like
K.
giving me my start and like making me believe I could act. Her, Holly
Wow.
Walker.
yeah,
They really changed my life.
Yeah.
Because if I wouldn't have found acting, I don't know what I would have done. But yeah, the Black Man Group, that's when I started to believe like, oh, I can do this for a living? Is this a thing I can?
Isn't that a weird feeling?
It's a crazy feeling.
At a
Yeah.
young age, it's like you just have this weird, like something just clicks for you.
Yeah.
You know, like I felt the same way about stand up where I was like, even from the moment I started, even before that, just thinking about it, I was like, I've tried so many other things. Nothing's ever made me this happy. I was like, I need to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I really felt like a light inside me on stage, like a warmth. I know that sounds corny.
No.
But I remember feeling that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I've never felt like that. Not playing basketball, not
Yeah.
doing anything. It's like when you identify your purpose, you can feel it. It's really a divine
changes
thing.
In you too. You know,
100%.
it's like even if you're scared, you still want to do it. That's
Yeah.
like what I always say is the biggest thing. Is like stand up for me was scary, but I still wanted to do it every single time, even after a bad set.
That's dope.
I was just laughing because it still pops into my head whenever I see either of these two words, but I just had an epiphany. I'm about to go to Tiffany's.
Was that one of the sketches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was
played
Denny's.
this character. I played this character
we did
called
like a
Denzel
cipher.
Nequa.
Yeah. We did a cipher.
It was like an homage to Martin when he used to do was it Shanae? I believe.
Yeah, Shanae.
So I played this character. It was,
And did y'all write everything and perform?
Yeah, we
Wow.
did, right?
I think
we
we
did,
did,
and
more
Rebecca
improv than
kind of-
anything,
Oh,
but we kind of
improv,
had like
okay.
ways we were going.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was guided.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was
But
I think
yeah.
that's and a lot of the guys from the Black Man Group went on to continue to pursue theater
Oh my god.
Or just art.
or art in general.
Yeah, James Wester,
Man.
Lurch.
But you know what it really
Carey,
is about
yeah.
that though is like having a community that you feel comfortable with to bounce ideas off of, like in any creative aspect or pursuit or whatever. It's like finding people that you really jive with is like that's how I felt about Seattle. I was like,
Yeah.
I felt like there was this group of us where I was like, oh, I feel so like comedically like free to experiment and like you know bounce ideas off of each other and like joke around when it's like okay we're just like doing fun shit together, like that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know?
Super important. And I did find that in Chicago. And
Because you went to Roosevelt?
no, I went to
Hey,
DePaul. The theater
Oh,
school at
wow.
DePaul. But one of the greatest things that I did, I used to host this open mic at DePaul called Soulful, which is where I met so many incredible creative people and really got tapped into the comedy scene because comics would come up. And there was a bunch of comics on the scene that I knew that were super funny. And we all just kind of got along. Joe Boyd, Jarrell Scott Barnes, Aaron Branch, Ty Riggs. And we all was just like, man, instead of like doing this shuffle of going from spot to spot, trying to get up at the Laugh Factory, trying to do this, try to do that, we should just start producing shows together.
Oh yeah.
And we literally became like the Wu-Tang of comedy in Chicago.
I love that.
We started in a house. We was doing house shows,
Yeah.
like just, had a little fake stage and would do donation-based shows. 10 people would show up, do another show, 20, 30. And before
Amazing.
you knew it, we had enough clout to come to the Laugh Factory and go to spaces like the Revival and be like, yo, can we do a show here? We got
That's
a fan
incredible.
base. And we went kind of the back door through getting past because we built our own thing and we were doing sketches. And
If you can find
it's
a
crazy.
new way to do anything in this industry, like you are golden.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
now's the time for it.
Now's the time.
Now
yeah.
it's the wild, wild west where
Yeah.
fucking all the industries that we looked up to, like it's not industries, but like, the major players, like Comedy Central, all that. Now they're like with social media and the internet,
yeah,
they're
what do
like,
y'all got?
they're like, we don't know what the fuck. How do we catch
yeah.
up to what everyone else is doing?
Yeah.
That's why the LA comedy scene, it isn't as exciting to me because everybody's just trying to get past at the big three. Everybody wants to be at the Improv, Comedy Store, Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And the sad truth about those clubs is they only recognize talent if it's already recognized.
Yeah.
It
Rather
didn't
you have-
always used to be that way, but it is now for sure.
You don't think it's always been that way?
I think especially like I think of the store and you hear all these stories about people like, before social media and
Oh, yeah,
before, stuff like that. It's like the people who became legends there were because Mitzi invested in them, and grew them and gave them stage time. And it was just this cool kind of underground, like dirty club you go to,
Right.
and it's definitely 100% what you're saying though. Now it's like you have to build your own social media following. You have to already be touring. And even that, it's not enough.
Yeah, it's
know?
very bizarre. You have to
Yeah.
already be in their rotation
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I do think you're right. I think comedy, you could be a little bit more renegade about it because there are so many talented people
That's a good word for
coming
it.
around.
Yeah.
And those folks at the Comedy Store Missy really had an eye for talent.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, people go to these open mics to try to get. There is no system. There is literally.
Yeah.
It's not like I go to
Yeah.
the open mic. If I'm funny, they'll put me up.
Right.
That's not the thing anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know how y'all feel, but to me, and no disrespect to the door guys that work at these stores, but or at these places, but they don't even put them up like that.
The store they do.
The
store
yeah.
they've been doing a lot more. But I know other places, because when I first moved down here, that was my thing. Is I was like, all right, I got some money saved up. I'm gonna try to. I mean, it was during COVID, but I was like, I just want to focus on comedy for a year, see how that goes, and then if I do get a day job, it would just be a door position. And
Did you do that?
No, because then I knew people who did it at the Improv, and they were like, yeah, they don't really put you up. And so I was like, oh, well, that's kind of, I mean, it's not the only reason I would do it, but it's a major thing.
Yeah, I think it depends on the club. And I think it also, I mean, I think
there's only 3.
Yeah.
No,
No, I
like
mean,
2
I
of
think
them don't really do
even
that.
like in Seattle, like I would work the door for the club, and they give you like they promise you this amount of stage time or whatever, right? But like,
Were they honoring that?
yeah, I would say for the most part, yeah. I think, but that's what I'm saying. I think it, depends on the city, depends on the club. I also think like booking has changed, at some of the clubs here, especially like, and I think some of it's positive, right? Like getting more like, women on stage or something like that, right? Or letting people produce shows in their smaller rooms and things like that. So I think there's some positives, but it is definitely this thing where like you have to show face here. You have to meet people. There really is no rhyme or reason to who gets passed. It's just like that booker's opinion of you,
It's more of a business now.
Yeah.
It's more of a business, less about talent.
That's what whenever people are like, oh, I'm worried about moving out to LA. If they're good, I'm like, do it. I mean, if they're not, I'm like, this is not the place to go to get better at comedy.
No, absolutely.
But if you're already at that level where you're comfortable, you're confident in your voice, you've already like figured out your shit, then it's like, do it because you're going to learn the business aspect of it and not necessarily just, okay, this is how I, book shows, or this is how I like keep the money, or like some shit like that. It's like, you will see the ins and outs of what all goes into getting people on shows, and it's way different than you thought it was.
Yeah.
And it's all that shit that you don't necessarily see somewhere else because it is smaller scenes. Whereas here, they're like, there's a fucking 1,000 people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember everybody.
Yeah.
Did y'all have any, or maybe you still do, but survival jobs that y'all hated? Because as far as survival jobs, I think a door guy that's a good, you get to watch shows and be around funny people. Yeah. But survival jobs, did y'all have any that you were just like,
I've been pretty
soul-sucking?
Lucky. So I graduated pretty young from college, and then I just kind of like took the first job that I kind of was like, all right, I'll work in this office and whatever. And I got really lucky with my team, obviously like not doing what I wanted to do, but I didn't know at the time that I wanted to fully commit to comedy. I was kind of that person who's like in love with it, but like won't admit it to themselves kind of thing. And so for a while, I actually thought I was going to go down like that path of like trying to have a just completely different career. And do you hear her whining? Oh my God.
She's like, moving on already.
I'm sorry. Jeez. Whoa.
This is interesting.
I've heard this before.
No, but all of mine have been pretty like low stakes office jobs, and now I write for a travel company, which I enjoy. So I'm like,
you suck. Elliott, that's just not.
I was
not
before
interesting.
comedy, I wanted to be a chef, and so I was working in restaurants. And
I remember this phase.
Yeah, and then
chef.
Then I started doing comedy, and that's when I was like, oh, this is my thing. Like, this is where it clicks. And that's when I could see people, especially in the kitchens, where I'm like, oh, because then once I started that, I was like, I don't really give a fuck about this. Not that like I don't care and I'm not going to put in any effort, but like when people be like, all right, what are we going to make for staff meal? I'm just like, I don't fucking care. It's free food. Like, just make it. And they're like, no, we got to make something like this and like that. And like, that's all they're thinking about. Once I found comedy, I was like, oh, that's how I think about comedy. And that's how you guys think about.
Because you don't know until that clicks for you.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. Because I was like, I love it. I love being in restaurants. I love cooking, like all that shit. Especially at that time in my life, like I really just wanted to learn everything. And then once I found comedy, I was like, oh no, this. It's like when you find like your right shoe size after a while. You're like, oh, this is how it's supposed to feel.
I'm still debating if I'm a 7 or 7.5, and I'm being
One
real.
day you'll get there.
I'll get there. Yeah.
And but so even then, once I started comedy, then I went from back of the house to once I moved to Seattle, then I started serving because it was more money, less hours.
Were you good at it?
No. I mean, I wasn't bad. I just didn't care.
Okay.
I was like, you're an adult. Fucking ask for what you want. I'm not going to baby you.
You see what I mean? This is
This
the
is the
knowing
energy.
that
Yeah.
he used to have in high school of just like being very realistic about what this is.
Yeah.
Like, y'all know I'm faking. I don't want to go get you
That's
extra
the
more
thing,
water.
dude. It's like, I don't care. If you're nice to me, I mean, I'll be nice to you. But like at the end of the day, if you want to like be babied, grow the fuck up. You know,
Like asking for water.
but
Ellie, like, you fucking
bring your own.
thirsty
Think ahead.
bitch.
No, but so when I moved to Seattle, I did work at a jazz club, and I really liked that. I didn't do comedy for like a year because I was just working there, saving up money, partying and shit. And then once I got,
Damn, you was just an it.
Likely story.
With your fucking
I said
move.
I would walk in, I'd say, "Give me a little keys." And they'd do.
Yeah.
I just bop around.
Wait, what was your survival job?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, so when you moved to LA, what the fuck did you do? Because my LA jobs were shitty.
Okay.
Chicago, it wasn't bad. I had
Right.
I worked at a boxing gym, which I loved.
Oh,
'cause I
hell
got
yeah.
to box and
Oh, I remember that.
yeah, I was
like,
working at Title Boxing.
Denny's boxing now.
Yeah, I was boxing, bro. But when I moved to LA, that's when I had shitty jobs. Like my first job, I worked at Press Juicery,
Okay.
which I got that
know
job
her.
from John Cleaver. He hooked me up. You remember John?
Did we
That
go
went to
there
West?
one
He went to
time?
my high school.
Okay.
He went to our high school too. He got me that job, and that was a terrible job because number one, we didn't make the juice.
Oh,
The
it
juice was just
comes
there.
in.
So we were just like,
No one really knew
we
where
were
it
really
came
like
from.
a vending. I was just a vending person.
Oh, that's
I was just there to
hilarious.
tell people about the
I
juice.
didn't realize they don't make the
The-
juice.
The juice isn't made in the store. We just give people, and I just got to explain. And again, me and Elliott are kindred spirits. It's very hard for me to pretend that I give a fuck.
Yeah.
So people are like, so what's in the green 3? And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm reading off the shit like ginger, celery. So what's ginger good for? I'm just like, bitch, health. I don't know. Like, I just hated it because that was my
Yeah.
first interaction
Yeah.
with like healthy LA people.
Oh,
And I'm just
God.
like, oh, I hate
Yeah.
this. And it was on Hollywood Boulevard. So
It's like buy your own juicer.
get a juicer.
Get a
This
juicer.
juice is $8. You
Yeah.
could get a whole. It was just irritating. And then
Yeah.
you look outside and there's like a homeless dude shitting on the sidewalk because it was on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh,
I know
boy.
you haven't lived here long enough to know.
No, I know Hollywood's
'Cause
bad.
I lived in Hollywood,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it was treacherous. I had LA all wrong. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm moving to Hollywood.
Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah.
funniest
Hollywood.
part.
Yeah.
I got over. I'm like, this is the hood. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, Hollywood
was
and
ratchet.
Sunset are just.
So every morning I had to wake up, go down Hollywood Boulevard to go to my job, and I'm just like, what am I doing? This
Yeah.
is awful.
Yeah.
But I quit that job because a guy used to come in every day. He used to have on scrubs. He's a cool white dude, and he was like, man, you
Zach
should come
Braff.
work for me. And I'm like, oh, what do you do? He's like, I do sales. I'm like, nah, I can't do that, man. That sound commission based.
Yeah.
I'm barely surviving
Yeah.
as is. I can't be like getting commission. You don't,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But he was like, I'm telling you, come work with me. Come work with me. Just come see what I do for
It's
one day. If you
Scientology.
think I can, if you think you can do it, I'll pay you $20 an hour just to come watch me do it.
Okay.
And if you think you can do it, quit your job, come work for me.
This is
So
some
the
Wolf of
job
Wall
was
Street
this
shit.
is,
I know.
and he's
Yeah.
very much that type of person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the job was, and this was fucking insane. It's wild that I I did this, but so we basically worked for a bunch of dental offices, and we would go around selling teeth whitening certificates in LA. So
He
basically,
wanted you because you had nice teeth.
yeah, and the charisma,
Yeah.
because it was cold sales.
Yeah.
So who are you like going up to?
Offices.
Bro, it was door to no.
Oh.
It was door to door, business to business, not offices. I would be going into Taco Bell, El Pollo Loco, Starbucks, and we got certificates.
Hey, Starbucks is a good one
No.
though.
It's a
Because
good
you're
one,
drinking,
but
you're drinking coffee and you're
drinking
like,
coffee. But we're
Stinky.
trying to sell them to the staff.
Oh my God.
So you walk in, they think you like, oh, what can we get for you? And I'm
Yeah.
like, the whole sales pitch, we would have on scrubs.
No.
That's
So we want them to think that I
Wild.
just came from
That
the
is
office.
rotten.
Right?
That is so rotten.
No, why is it rotten?
That's hilarious.
Tell
that
me
they
why
had
it's
you wear
rotten.
scrubs. You don't work in
No, I
the
want you to tell
medical
me-
field.
Not at
No,
all.
you don't.
But with sales, perception, it's everything. Because I do work for the dental office. I just don't work at the dental office.
It's semantics.
You are an actor.
It's semantics.
Yeah,
And
you-
This
also,
was your first acting role.
No. Yeah. No, this was the hardest one for sure. But the job was 100% commission. If I didn't make any sales, I made $0. The teeth whitening certificates were $100, and you get to keep 50% commission.
Oh.
And it's completely legitimate.
So how did you do?
I did great.
I love that you have to throw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she making it sound, she always trying to make me
It's
sound like
weird.
a scammer.
No, it
like,
sounds
no,
weird.
the teeth whitening
It sounds
certificate,
weird.
they get fucking exam x-ray, get they shit checked out. They get the whiten the whole 9 for $100. Which y'all know, if you actually, it's a cosmetic procedure. If you go, that shit is expensive.
You go on Groupon now.
It shit is expensive. That's what we were, a human Groupon. We go around giving it to people with a face attached to
Sounds
it,
like a
as
weird
opposed to
sex
going
thing.
on it. That's what he used to say.
I can't wait
That
to
was
see you
actually-
on Shark
that was
Tank in
actually
about
my,
2 to 3 years.
And it was like, and I was getting paid way more than I would have got paid doing a regular job.
Yeah.
Like if I made fucking 8 sales in a day, you do the math.
Yeah.
So it was fucking maybe 100 people a day. I'm getting told no, but you fucking do 10 in a day, it's lit.
Yeah.
So it was a fucking weird job. I've been all over California because there were offices in Costa Mesa, Long Beach, Orange County, all around LA. I've probably talked to so many people in this town. And I guarantee when my TV show and stuff came out, I know there was people like, I know that black dude.
Motherfucker.
I feel like
Is that Denzel
he
Washington?
tried to sell me. Right. He tried to sell me. Yeah.
What was your opener? How would you?
Well, so basically, okay,
Did they
you want me to
give you- would
pitch
they
it
give
to
you
you?
a
Flash the
You want me
pearly
to pitch it
whites.
to
Would they
you?
give
dude.
you a script?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but it was the whole point of the sale was you want to be very indifferent and just like natural. Because I wanted these people
You're
to
like, I don't even
believe
want this.
that I just can't, like I was just a guy that got told to go pass
Okay.
these things out. Because if you know, sales is all about perception. If people sense that you're a salesman,
They
they're
hate
automatically
it.
like,
Yeah,
no, I'm
yeah,
not fucking
yeah.
with this. But I was coming in on some like just super like, oh, what up? Oh yeah, because like,
Oh, your
boom,
teeth
where
are
y'all
fucked up.
work at? We'll play the role.
Wait, yeah,
Where do
because
y'all
would
work?
people be like, are you a nurse?
Well, no, people would be just like, oh, dope.
Okay. Let's say we're working at
I think
Panda
everybody
Express.
isn't as
Panda
where y'all
Express.
where
We're working at Panda Express.
Panda Express. I've been to
Okay.
Panda. I did Panda.
Oh, yeah?
I did Panda.
Which location?
Yeah, La Brea.
Oh,
Which one?
is that the one that closes at 10 or 10:30?
I think that might be a 2 a.m.
We're at the La Brea. We're at the
a.m.
La Brea.
Okay, cool.
La Brea PE.
So I don't need you. We need to first of all, because you coming in with a whole lot of skepticism already. You need to just be like, I work at Panda Express, and this
I'll
is just
come
a
in. Okay.
dude.
I'll say hi. I'll say
Yeah, don't be trying to make it hard
okay.
on me.
Okay, all right. You
I
open.
already got Elliott.
You open the door, and I'm gonna say,
Open the door, boom. I walk up to the
I'm
counter.
gonna give you a curveball.
"Hi, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. How can I help you today?"
Well, actually, we're just your new neighbors. We just opened up a dental office like right across the street from y'all.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, so we just opened up an office, and we're just trying to invite like the neighbors to come in and get their teeth whitened. Have y'all? You ever?
No, I don't know. My teeth are already pretty white.
Oh yeah. Man, if it's not for you, cool. But
I don't
it's just
believe in
something
teeth.
fun. Oh, you don't believe in teeth?
Nah.
Well,
That's the government.
well, I feel you, bro. I do feel you, but it's just something fun we trying to do for the neighbors.
Okay.
To get people in. Just to.
Is it free? Is it like what if I want to get my teeth whitened?
Is the Panda Express free?
No.
Oh, ain't
But
that
it's
free?
very
Ain't that
reasonably
free in this
priced. But
world?
it's very reasonably priced.
You're right. So basically, what we're doing for the neighbors is, it's normally like almost $500 to get your teeth whitened,
Okay.
but because y'all the neighbors, we trying to meet everybody. It's $99. You get teeth whitened,
Wow.
the trays, the exam and X-ray. It's cool. And then you would already have the little certificate in your hand, so you're looking at it. I'm like, yeah, something cool we're doing for like 50 people, and I would have
Oh, you're
10
good.
left.
You're
I would
good.
only have 10 left. Like,
Yeah.
y'all know Susan that works at the El Pollo Loco next door?
Oh, with the fucked up teeth?
Yeah, she come. Don't say
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but yeah. She coming in. So yeah, if
All
y'all
right,
want
well,
to come
Susan
through,
will do it. I'll do it.
So
leave Susan alone.
Susan is
friend
dope.
of the
She's
pod.
coming
Not
in.
that Susan. That Susan doesn't have a job.
This Susan is knocked
Susan's
out. Do you see
cute.
her? She's tight.
But so basically, that's how it would go. And most people, we live in LA. People want to get their teeth
Oh,
white.
yeah.
It's not really a matter if they want to do it. So you
Yeah.
never encounter people being like, my
You're
teeth are
good.
too white.
I bet
Like,
you were so
no.
fucking good at that.
Yeah, it was. But again, the toughest thing about the job was people had to pay right then.
Oh,
It was you had to make the sale right then.
And what are they paying with? Cash card?
Well, we had the card reader, so
Oh,
they
yeah.
pay
Square.
card, cash, whatever, get a receipt.
my
But that
God.
was the thing, because most people would be like, hell yeah. And
Yeah.
if you can't get that with insurance, they like, yeah, I would love to.
Humble
And then
beginnings.
like, damn, I gotta pay today. It's like, yeah, man, sorry, we just doing this for the only like slimy part about it was I wouldn't have. It's like I would have. We're telling them that we only doing it for like 50 people, and I would only have like 10 certificates. So you're really playing on like fear of loss.
Right,
These
right,
is all
right.
like sales
Yeah.
tactics where people are like, damn, I only got. Damn, if I don't do it now, I ain't gonna be able to do it. It's
and
impulse
you're
buyers.
throwing around the neighbor word a lot.
Yeah,
and so that
yeah.
makes like a sense of community,
familiarity.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
break
you know
it
what I
down
mean?
over here.
It's-
You
it-
guys,
it's
Harvard
sales.
Business School.
It's
Yeah.
it's the Glengarrys, man.
Yeah.
The Glengarys.
ABC baby, always
gotta-
be closing.
Always
Oh,
be
Is that what you would say
closing.
before you'd walk in? You go,
The
always be
dude
closing.
who
Always be
hired
closing.
me, he made me watch that movie.
Oh
I
God.
watched it and
my
I'm like, it kind
God.
of got me pumped. Like, dang.
Do you
I
keep
think-
so
in
funny.
touch with him? At
Yeah,
all?
yeah, he's an actor too.
Oh,
he doing his
okay.
thing. Yeah,
yeah, it was Matthew McConaughey.
yeah.
Damn.
Matthew. You
Well-
know Matthew?
Well, he knows
Crazy.
Denzel.
Yeah,
But yeah.
We keep in touch for sure. Yeah, that's my homie.
So okay,
Put
so
a
you're
lot
out
of
in
money in
LA.
my pocket.
You're out in LA. You're kind of doing odd jobs, putting your feet into acting, doing stand up.
I'm not putting my feet into anything.
You're okay.
I was on
You're
TV.
fully in it.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fully
No,
in
I had
it.
booked a couple
So this is like
things.
between gigs
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you know that until you book a series regular, it's still hard to get by
Yeah.
off guest stars.
Yeah.
It's like you get a couple $1,000, but then you gotta let that shit survive until
For
the
months.
next one.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
booking things, but not enough to be a full-time actor.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And comedy pays nothing.
nothing.
So,
Oh, it pays absolutely $0.
Yeah, you live off about like
Yeah.
$7 a
Drink
month.
tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And in fact,
If you can
And
you
stretch those
pay
chicken
money
fingers.
to do comedy in LA.
Yes.
Not only if
Yeah.
you've got a car, it's gas or Uber money, and then you got to pay to get up.
That's why you
It's
gotta start a
crazy
company.
to me.
Yeah.
Write that shit off.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh,
Look at us, business.
is that what you
tips.
did?
Yeah.
That's
Not
impressive.
specifically for that, but
It's
I
a
was
part
going
of
through and I
your-
was like, oh yeah, I can fucking write these off.
Yeah, it's in part.
Well,
part of
that's
your-
a good transition for us. You might have a funny comedy story or two to share with us today.
I don't like. I haven't. I don't have any crazy bombing stories.
Oh,
I
you
don't
never
have
bomb.
any.
Any crazy
Well, I think
shows?
my first time I got on stage,
Mm.
I bombed, and I do stand up for 2 years after that because I was just like,
wow.
and it was in Minnesota because
I
I,
was gonna
didn't
say,
have,
where's the first?
It
Where
was in
did you-
Minnesota.
Okay.
Because I don't even know. It was like a bar.
Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Minneapolis. I forget who. I think Max Giles told me about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
doing stand up, and I think I went up. And in my mind, again, I had Comic View in my mind, Def Jam. So I thought it was gonna be like a show. Then I went, and it was like 3 dudes, like a old drunk white man, and like 4 comics.
That's
and it's
really
dark,
how it
and
is.
My
Yeah.
mom was there because she wanted to watch.
Oh.
And I didn't really have bits at that
Yep.
point. I was just trying to do
Yeah.
personality stuff, like
Yeah.
charisma, and just it was
Can't
was
coast.
bad.
Yeah.
and I
Can't
was just
coast on
like,
that. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, nah.
Wow. So 2 years. So then why'd you try it again? What made you try it again?
Because I was in Chicago, and I
Different,
got
yeah.
asked to host the open mic, which at the time I didn't really consider that to be stand up. I was just like, oh, I'm just hosting, just personality. I
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what got me back into like, oh.
Interesting.
Then I started really like, oh, you need to like, it's a craft. You need to,
Yeah.
that's what made me jump back into it. But the first time it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
stand up, because a lot of people think just because you're funny, you be good at stand up.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm the funny one of
Yeah.
the group, so
It's
I'll
not
get up
true.
there.
All my friends tell me I should try stand up. Oh God.
Do
when
it,
people
And then
please.
it's like,
yeah.
okay,
Tell
go up
people,
there,
do it.
and then
Yeah.
realize you have no one else to play off of. It's literally just you.
Literally
And
just
so
you
have
and your
to-
thoughts
It's
and
like-
perspectives.
What your friends meant is you should try improv. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like if you're good at like riffing with people, go do improv, you
Yeah.
know? Like
That's a
yeah.
good point. But
Yeah.
stand up, it's a craft, and I didn't really understand that at the when I first started. And to this day, I'm like, this is something that you can really get better at. You can really get better at it. But the meat and potatoes is obviously you got to be funny and have
Yeah.
perspective. But if you ain't got that pen work,
You gotta write. You gotta
gotta
write.
write.
Yeah, that's what's
You
so
gotta
funny. Is
write.
I feel like a lot of audience members don't realize that you write your jokes beforehand. Like the amount of people that I've had think that like a 20-minute set is off the cuff. I'm like,
crazy.
I mean, that's a compliment.
it's
though.
insane.
It
Well,
is.
That
sure,
was always
but
those were always the comics I liked to watch when I was young.
Yeah.
because
Make
I
it
would
look easy.
when I would stay home from school, I'd watch like fucking Comedy Central, and they play
Mm-hmm.
like Premium Blend, the fucking BET, all that shit. And I never really liked the people where you could tell it was like a set. You know, it just seemed like they were kind of reading it off. I always liked the people where it just seemed like they were just
yeah,
fucking around,
Flowing
going
with
for it.
I just thought of something crazy that happened on stage. I just thought
tell
of it.
us.
I remember there's a comedy club. I don't even think it's open anymore, but it's like in Inglewood called the J Spot,
Okay.
which is the hood.
That sounds familiar.
I'm sorry. And what is the hood?
The hood is in an
Hollywood.
area where shit goes down. So I went to the J Spot, which because LA, you can kind of get in the space where you perform for a lot of white rooms, and I never want to lose that connection to my folks. Like you need to be able to do both. That's one of the things white comics never have to do. They don't have to go kill in rooms with people that don't look like them. And that's something that a lot of white people take for granted. That is a privilege that you
Yeah.
don't have to be universally funny.
Yeah.
Because for white comics, universally funny is just white people are the majority. But
Universal is like, can I make the teenagers and then their parents laugh?
exactly.
Yeah.
But are you going in rooms where you're the minority? This is something that people don't really consider. So I was always trying to hit the hood rooms too, because you gotta be hood funny too. Because black people, especially hood black
You
people,
can't be
There's no
corny.
courtesy laughs.
you gotta be funny.
Yeah.
Ain't no I've seen people go up in white rooms that ain't funny, and people are giggling. And sometimes just giggling because they uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
I'll give you a laugh because I don't want to see you struggle. In black rooms, they finna. Man, get his ass off stage.
Yeah.
You might get booed.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that type of shit. And that was Chicago too, cutting your teeth in rooms where it's like you really gotta be funny. You can't be, you gotta be a fucking
Yeah.
shark about
Because
this
there's
shit.
like a certain type of room, that it's like every city kind of gets that maybe reputation. I mean, some certain clubs will be like more bro-y or something, but
Yeah,
LA, like there's a lot of all white lineups in LA still.
all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time.
all the
Most of
time.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may have a token. You may
Yeah.
have one or two
Which is
comics
crazy
of
because
color.
there are a lot of non-white comics here.
It's wild, but that's
Yeah.
that's the comedy scene. So
Yeah.
that's just another rant that I can go on. But I be feeling like a lot of comics, I'm like, y'all not really as funny as you think you is, because you couldn't do that in the black room.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that in the Latin room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just couldn't do it. But you're funny in a vacuum. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, I went to the J Spot, and I was doing some material. Right, it was an open mic, so it wasn't a lot of people. It was like, and I saw this group of like old ladies, right, old black ladies, and I was just making some jokes about cougars, and I was just like, this is when I was trying to be on my like Def Jam shit, and I just said like, yeah, these old bitches, and I was just talking, right. And I didn't think nothing of it at the time because that's just how I was talking. And I remember they kind of looking at each other, and they was just kind of like got a little stale after that. And then after I got off stage, an older comic came up to me like, yeah, young blood, hey, you funny, but hey man, you gotta be careful out here, like just talking to these women like this, man, because she unbeknownst to me, had told like the staff, like, I'm finna call my grandson to come up here and fuck him up.
I love that.
And he told me
You
that, and I
called
was
them
like,
old bitches.
I was
You
like,
deserve
what?
that. Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I mean, in comedy, I grew up watching people
Yeah.
like Cat Williams who be
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm calling you bitches because I don't know your names individually.
Yeah.
Like that's how I
Yeah.
grew up. So I saying bitch flippantly, I wasn't like, I'm not like calling you a bitch. It's just like y'all
he is.
bitches.
He
You know,
is. He's a bitch.
he's a
Yeah.
bitch. But I was just like bitches. You know.
Yeah.
And they did not fuck with that. And I had to go up to these old women and apologize. Like,
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry, I didn't
I
mean
love
it
that
in
you
that
came
way.
in on your Def Jam shit, and then you have your
Yeah.
tail between your legs.
No, yeah. They was about to call their grandsons.
Yeah.
We in the hood. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not even, look.
You're like,
no.
my name's Denny Love.
My name's Denny Love. I don't want no smoke.
I can't.
I don't want no smoke. Like places like in the hoods, it can get dangerous.
Yeah.
Chicago is the same way. One of my favorite bits that used to kill in Chicago, I used to go on stage and I used to be like, you know, I love performing in front of Chicago crowds because they always give you backhanded compliments. They'll say something nice and then immediately disrespect you. They'll be like, hey boy, you funny as hell with your little ugly ass. And that shit used to kill because that's what they would say to you.
Yeah.
They would give you a compliment and immediately roast you.
Yeah.
Because everybody in Chicago think they funny too.
Yeah.
They just ain't on stage. So they'll be like, yeah, boy, you funny with your little. You remember I used to wear my fedoras? And you're like, I had a fedora face. They're like, boy, you funny as hell with your little.
You clocked him for his hats earlier.
Well, yeah,
today?
I made it look good though. I made it look good.
No.
I made it look good.
You're not Bruno Mars.
No, I made it look good. So see, that's the thing. You giving Bruno Mars that because he's Bruno Mars and he's famous. But if he was a regular dude, you might be like, that's corny look.
No, he
You're
looks
like, your name's
corny.
Bruno?
He looks corny.
No, everybody love Bruno Mars.
I'm-
Knock it off.
No.
So, okay, everybody but you.
No,
There's a
no,
reason he's Bruno Mars. I've discovered
Gabby
over this
doesn't like
podcast.
Bruno Mars
agrees
either.
I've
with me.
discovered this over this podcast. You a little bit of a cynic. You got some hateration in your
I'm a very
blood.
positive person.
No, you be
I
hating.
made Christini. I don't know.
No, that don't mean shit. You still could be a hater making Christini.
No, I just love, I'm a contrarian.
No, that's what I'm saying. You a hater.
Fucking-
If everybody
No.
like it, you gotta be like,
No.
nah.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait.
Everybody
I will
love
say,
fucking Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak.
will-
You hear that shit?
No,
Come
I
on, you
love
finna.
them. I love them
Come
together.
on, man, knock
I
it
love
off.
them together, but
So you
Bruno
do have love for
sometimes-
Bruno
I have
Mars.
some love, but I'm neutral. Like I think some of his biggest hits are some of his worst songs.
Regardless of what I'm saying, I
Yeah.
looked great in the fedora. I don't give a fuck about Bruno Mars.
It's
I
so
I was voted best dressed in my high school
No.
and best actor.
No, well,
They
it was
made
a
me
small school.
choose.
It was a small school.
Guess what
Oh
I
my
chose?
God. Wait,
No,
this
we didn't
is
have a
triggering
small
me.
school. What are you talking
This is
about?
triggering
She
me.
just be saying stuff. Our school wasn't small.
They made me choose.
They made me choose.
This
What
is
did you
triggering
choose?
me.
I chose best actor.
There we go.
There
we go.
Man, I know I'm
Okay.
swagged
You say you
up.
give it to the
It's
give it to the
still on
runner
the
up.
resume. It's still on the resume.
I'm just saying it was
listed.
it is. You could fact check that.
This is so
Why are you
triggering for
triggered?
me
What you
about the
talking about?
superlatives because I got voted most kind in high school.
That's cap.
Except,
That's cap.
except I didn't really. I got third place, but the first place winner also got most beautiful, and so obviously she chose that one. And then the second place winner got most school spirit, and she chose that one over being kind. And so I just showed up, and I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
like, just happy to be here.
I'm de facto the nicest
Just
person.
happy to
How
be
did you
here.
find that out?
They told me.
That's kind of fucked up. That's kind of
Well,
fucked
because
up.
they had to choose. And so they were like, oh my God, I won all these awards. And then next thing I know, I'm doing the most kind photo shoot over here, And then they misquote me in the school paper. It's great. It's all great.
Wow.
It's all
That's
great.
so funny.
It's so funny that you clocked me for my... Everyone else is doing it, so I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I know your vibe.
I think it's because I'm afraid of peer pressure growing up. Like literally, I think about this all the time. If there's a new TV show on and everyone's talking about it, I won't ever watch it. Never seen Breaking Bad. Never seen Mad Men. Never seen Game of Thrones. Like something in my brain won't let me do
That's
what everyone else is
ridiculous.
doing.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
That's
insane.
ridiculous.
But
You're
I've had
holding
to-
yourself back.
I like just
Really?
realized that I had this epiphany, if you will, that
About to
right
go
as
to
you were saying
Tiffany's.
that. Yeah.
It lives
Yeah, you
on.
gotta stop that. But it does work for comedy. But you
Yeah.
also have to have a well-rounded perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason that I fucking feel like I have a perspective on anything is because I look at every side of things, and I'm able to decide like, okay, this is how I actually feel.
Yeah.
Like even with political shit,
no,
I'll listen to the Trumpies because
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are y'all saying?
Yeah.
Some people are like, I don't want to hear that. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah. I
I'm
think
like,
I'm too
do I?
analytical.
Like, let me
You can
see.
listen to it. Just because
Yeah.
you listen to it.
Actually, they're
Take it
starting to make
in.
a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're making some
Like
points.
you should. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
everybody in the world likes something, and I'm like, no.
No,
Before
no,
even
no.
trying it or watching.
I mean, I like some basic things too, but the things that I'm most averse on are like
TV shows.
well, it's actually technology.
fedoras?
I still use an iPod. I'm like freaked out by people still like when people freak out about a new
She
iPhone
just got
coming
Spotify.
out. I did just
So
get
you don't.
Spotify.
Did that change your life?
No, no, and not really. But I when people freak out about something being new just because it's new, I'm like, I don't care. You know, I want there to be a reason why I like something.
But you're not even exploring if you like.
No,
something.
I am. I guess. I mean, I am. I'm late to the game, you know, on some things. But like, Bluetooth headphones, I was really late on. I'm not gonna lie, those are pretty nice. But like, I'm still, you know.
So
like,
why be the person that's like, I'm not gonna, if everybody like it, I'ma just wait and see. Why don't you just see if
I've
you like
seen
it?
So
and,
many
you know?
things go wrong of like everybody flocking to a trend, and then it's like, oh, everyone's information got stolen, or everyone doing this, and then it's like, okay, maybe that wasn't
What
cool.
trend?
Right.
What trend is getting your identity
Black square.
stolen?
Okay, the black squares on Instagram is a great example. I was like, this doesn't
Who
feel
is
right
getting
to
their
me.
identity stolen from that?
Oh no, that's
And what
a
does that
separate
have to
The
example.
trend was
Ooh.
post a black square with your credit card number as
No,
the
that's
caption.
a different example. But I'm saying like that's a good example because I was like, this doesn't feel right to me that everyone's posting this.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
it
was
was
like,
all
is
But
it
this
bad
is
if I
leaking
don't
to
post
all
it?
things in your life. What that got to
Yeah.
do with Breaking Bad?
Oh,
You
see,
think they,
Breaking
like,
Bad, everybody was watching it, and I was
It's gonna
just
mess
like,
up my
I don't have
algorithm
time.
on Netflix.
Well, no, I was just like, I don't have time. And then by the time the show ended, when I finally did have time to watch it, I was like, well, everybody else already watched it, and I don't want to watch it now. When the conversation's over in society.
Then you're gonna always be late to the conversation because you
All right,
never
so
start with
wrapping
it.
things
This
up.
this is a therapy session.
Yeah,
Now, I
we're
really
really,
need to figure
we're
you
really
out.
getting in. This is gonna be for
What's up
this is
with
gonna
you?
be for the
Yeah.
Patreon. This
No,
is
okay,
gonna be.
with the technology, it's mostly about sustainability for me. Of people buy things when they're perfectly still working.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
like
that's
that.
true.
So
Yeah,
that's the big
that's
thing
true.
for me.
Especially
It's
Apple.
planned obsolescence.
Yeah.
Apple forces you to
Yeah,
buy
it's planned
things.
obsolescence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan what?
Planned obsolescence.
Ooh, I like that word you
It's
just
where they like
used.
build it in. It's it's like you look at like old shit
Planned
from the 50s.
obsolescence.
That's your album.
That's fire.
That's
too.
actually
Sorry, yes,
good.
you look
That's
for old
actually
stuff.
really fucking good. But it's like you look at old shit from like the 50s where it's built and it's like,
Yeah.
you buy this and you'll have it because we as a company
Yeah.
want to have integrity behind our products. But now everyone's like, well, if we buy it, or if we make it with shitty parts,
Mm-hmm.
it'll break in like a year. Then they'll have to buy another one from us. But if
Yeah.
we make it good enough that they like it, then they'll want to buy another one from us.
Well, that's another good point too, because like, I don't know, I'm a very nostalgic person and I
Mm.
think that's part of it for me too. But like vinyl, for example, making a comeback, it's like
Yeah.
everyone's buying new vinyl records.
100%.
No one like kept their old vinyl record. I mean, some people
Wait till my
did.
mom sees it.
Some people did, but I'm saying like that's just buying a new version of an old thing.
Yeah.
It
always circles back.
circles
Yeah.
back. Yeah,
Fashion,
I'm waiting for
everything
CDs
circles
to
back.
come back. I'm about 80, so they gotta make a comeback.
I think you might just have a grandma spirit. That might be what it is.
You're
Especially you
want
to give everybody treats and
Yeah.
things. You got a very grandma
Ari.
the comfy outfit.
This is actually from an old lady store, so that is.
I'm starting to
very
see that's your
accurate.
energy.
I do, I guess. I don't know.
I relate to that too.
I do.
It's
Yeah,
nothing
I'm
wrong
not
with
even going to
that.
be ashamed anymore.
Nothing. But that's why you got a
Yeah.
little like grump in you. Because you
I'm
never
not
meet
grumpy.
old people, they just kind of grumpy.
No, I'm not grumpy.
You got a little.
Gabby, am I grumpy?
Nah, you
I
gotta.
was so.
I wouldn't have voted you most joyful or whatever you
I
said.
like how instead of like you got a little fighting spirit,
You
like
got a
you
little
got a little
grump.
grump in you. I
No,
like it.
because
You got a little
literally,
grump.
You got a
no,
little grump.
no
You got
one
a
has
grump.
ever clocked me like this. Like literally, people come up to me on the street and they're like, "You have a beautiful aura. It's yellow."
you
Like that has
grump.
happened multiple times in my life.
grump.
People just tell me their life story unprompted. I have a joyful spirit.
Usually on the
You got
bus.
grump. You're grump.
All right, so we're getting there on time. So
You grump. And I love grumps. I'm a grump. I'm
Being a grump
always
is fun.
irritated.
Are you a
I'm
Gemini,
irritable.
Leo?
No. None of those things.
he actually
I'm
doesn't
a
have a
Capricorn.
sign.
Capricorn. My God.
Capper
Yeah.
gang.
Grump.
Yeah,
But I relate to grumps. That's why I loved Elliott out the gate and wanted him to be grumpier. I'm just like, what in the back?
How can I push you? How can I push you?
I just want you to be better.
And he's just looking.
Just always push yourself. Next level. But all right, wrapping it up. Do you got a piece of advice?
To comics, I would just say, just get up. Because everybody got this dream in their heart. If you're not actually doing the thing and living in your head about it, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
You can live in your head as much as you want, write all the jokes in your notepad, but you actually have to go do it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with acting. I know so many comics who like, man, I kind of want to get in that acting thing. Do it. Sign up for a class.
Get the reps in.
Get the reps in. Do you know how many times I've told this to comics and then I check in with them in a year and I'm like, oh, bro, you ever take them class? No, I ain't. I'm gonna do it though, bro. This is the year I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
You gotta have follow through. I think
You
that's
gotta
the biggest
have
thing.
follow through.
Yeah.
We all know so many people that come up to us like, I want to try that stand up thing. Try it.
Yeah. Or
Do it.
or it's people who are like, oh, I feel like I'm funny and I'm not getting booked. And it's like, okay, did you reach out to any shows? Did you go to the mics? It's like you gotta really set a plan.
Feel a little attacked, but
Well, no, I mean, you have to have intention around it because I feel
Yeah.
like I felt
Yeah.
that way. I felt a little jaded in Seattle because I'm like, oh, everybody fucking knows me, like I don't even have to try anymore. And then coming here and starting over, it's like, okay, it's been, you got to put in the work again and you're starting over and it's hard and it's like those anxiety feelings and you just have to do it even though it sucks.
Yeah.
it's like every new thing is going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Once you realize that's never going to change,
Yeah.
then it's just kind of
100%.
like,
Move
all right,
forward.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then you realize it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable because it's new and it's unknown.
Yeah.
And once you do it the first time, I mean, it's like when I was fucking skating, when you're like trying to do a new trick on like some shit or whatever, the first time you're like trying to do a rail or something, you're in your head, you go up to it, you stop, you go up to it, you stop. And then as soon as you try it that one time, you're always like, oh.
That wasn't
so
scary.
bad.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I just have to do this. And
Yeah.
then
Also,
fucking do
community
it.
is one of the bigger things that I wish I knew earlier. Because everything is a little less miserable when you got a friend next to you can kind of chuckle at.
And you can just be like, this is insane, right?
Yeah.
And they're like,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like sitting in line at a
Yeah.
mic at fucking 3 that the mic starts at 5.
Yeah.
By yourself, it feels like you're dying inside.
Yeah.
If you got a homie with you that y'all can just laugh and, that camaraderie, because we really are like soldiers within this thing. And that's why I have so
sounded
much
like that.
respect for anybody who moved to LA.
Oh, I thought you were going to
pursue
say
their
the
dream.
Marines. I was like,
No. But I do have
Yeah.
a huge amount of respect for
Yeah.
the Marines.
No.
But anybody who came to LA to pursue
Yeah.
a dream, we're like these weird gypsy folks who just like are trying to do this thing that's insane that our family will never understand. And we
and
still
everyone else
here.
is doing it too.
Everybody
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
is doing it too. And we all
Yeah.
experience the same emotional turmoil. But the biggest thing is to fucking just do it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nike, bro. 'Cause
Hey.
they got it right.
It honestly,
Shout out to
they
their
got it
intern
right.
who
honestly,
came up
it
with the
really
swoosh.
is the best slogan because
so
it's with
simple.
everything. It's like you just have to do it. You just have to take that first step and just get it in motion.
Even when you're
'Cause it'll never
tired,
get
just
done.
do it.
Yeah.
Even when you don't feel like doing that mic, just do it. Even when you don't feel like reintroducing yourself to the booker for the 10th time,
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
And you look up those little blocks you've been placing. You look up, you got a whole fucking wall there. It's really crazy. But this industry is hard, man. So you need your people. You need
Yeah.
your soldiers when
I
you're feeling
agree.
weak to carry you. Because this shit, you cannot make it on your own.
Oh,
That's
absolutely
one of the biggest
not.
things I
Yeah.
realized.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
gotta
care how
have-
talented you are. You need a
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Having someone in your corner. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, oh my God, good advice. Jeez. Where can people find you?
You can find me on any socials at Denny Love, Instagram Denny Love for real, YouTube Denny Love. I'm Denny Loving. I got merch too.
Hey.
I got shows too.
Ooh.
You can find them. I'll be posting everything. I'm very happy that y'all have me,
God.
man.
Thank
If this was
you.
Elliott, I don't think this would have been
Yeah.
as dope. Y'all
Yeah.
are a dope team. I like
Thank
this.
you. So, and Miss Moki's here too.
The
Chateau
dogs. This is
Moki.
dope,
Yeah.
man. I hope this thing continues to take off because y'all
Oh,
are dope.
thank you.
Nice, thank you.
Elliott, where can people find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Grant Radish, GrentRaddsh.
And you can find me at Arijana Ramic on all platforms, ARIJANARAMIC. All right. I think we did it.
We done did the damn
Okay.
thing.
Bye.
See ya.
Gang, gang.